Today, we are in Lynn Garden to talk about what I believe is one of the most important issues upcoming for the new Board of Mayor and Aldermen, and that's the revitalization of Lynn Garden. I believe strongly that a city should protect its neighborhoods, and Lynn Garden is in need of some help, but there have been some positive steps taken, and I want to talk to you about those today and what's going to happen in the future. Now, first I want to talk to you about what the city has done, and then talk a little bit about what I think needs to happen next. So in 2021, Lynn Garden was declared a redevelopment district by the Board of Mayor and Aldermen. This did a lot of good things, but most importantly what it did was open up the Lynn Garden area to access to certain funding that it didn't have before that can help private businesses invest in this community. Then our city staff worked with the Lynn Garden community on the Lynn Garden Together plan. They held multiple meetings and met with citizens to understand what Lynn Garden citizens were really concerned about and what most wanted to see. This was multiple listening sessions to understand what their issues were and what they wanted to see done in Lynn Garden. From that came the Lynn Garden Corridor Plan, and this was a study on how Lynn Garden can go into the future, how it can redevelop. And why that is important is because potential investors can look at that plan and understand what is going to be going on here in the Lynn Garden area. And then finally, over the last few years, the city has had a hard push for code enforcement in the Lynn Garden community. So the city has spent the last year sending its building department and code enforcement staff up here to start taking a look at these out-of-town owners of homes and what's been going on. And just in that time, they had 61 citations written. And you will just not believe what a difference it will make mowing a yard, fixing the broken windows, or taking down dilapidated structures that just don't need to be there anymore. You'd be surprised at what just doing these things will do to the morale of a community. Now, what the city has done has helped, but what Lynn Garden needs is private investment. Private investment is the driver, and we are already starting to see that with a private investor coming in and investing over $13 million into a parcel to redevelop a part of Lynn Garden that saw over 750 police calls, 250 EMS and fire calls over a 2-year period. Essentially the epicenter of some of the issues going on in Lynn Garden. Now, what's next? The next Board of Mayor and Aldermen has to understand that the job is not done. We have to continue to focus on the things that I mentioned above to continue to push Lynn Garden forward. Part of that redevelopment is going to be a new elementary school. One of the top things on the list to do in the next 4 years is get a new elementary school built in this Lynn Garden community. The next board needs to choose that location and commit to having that elementary school done. I believe with these steps that the next Board of Mayor and Aldermen can keep pushing Lynn Garden forward. And I think as the city shows that it is invested in Lynn Garden and invested in the redevelopment, the community and private investors will feel the same way. So if you will elect me this August 1st, I promise you I will keep pushing Lynn Garden and the city of Kingsport forward.